Very good evening, everyone. I'm Shilpa and I welcome you to Siksha webinar. Today, the topic of discussion is how to prepare for TISNET for the next year, but preparation begins this year. This webinar will focus on MBA programs. If you have any question, then please do share in the Q&A box or in the chat box. We shall answer all of it. Moreover, you can raise your queries even after the webinar. The link I'm sharing in the chat box, you can have a look at it. And let me show you where exactly this link will take you to. I hope my screen is visible. So you can see this will take you here and you can put your questions here. What do you want to ask your expert? And our subject expert will reply there. Okay. Now let's welcome the expert for the session. Achal Kumar Prasad, you are the founder and mentor at SMERG Education. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone.
So, sir, let's begin our discussion by knowing what exactly is TISNET.
TISNET is actually the first exam that TIS conducts for all of its postgraduate entrance postgraduate programs, and it is kind of elimination round. But the value of this exam also gets added to the final merit list. So, in general, TIS always used to have three stages. Like one is TISNET, second one is subjective written test, and third used to be interview. And you have different values for all these stages. Like TISNET stands for 40%, subjective written test stands for 30%, and the interview has the weightage of 30%. But since last 2 years, things has been changed a lot, and due to COVID, they had to increase the weightage of TISNET, which was 50% last year, and 20% is for extempore and 30% was for interview. But since we don't know like what kind of strategy they will be coming with strategy or the pattern they will coming up with this year entrance, but TISNET will be there for all its postgraduate entrance program, and of course for HR and MBA program also. So the TISNET is like it has 100 questions. 40 questions will be coming from general awareness, 30 will be coming from verbal ability, and 30 from all the quant related sections like quant, reasoning, and DI. So like I told you that you will be getting eliminated through this exam, and there is one more elimination aspect is there in TISNET, that is the general awareness. So they do have cutoff for general cutoff for general awareness there. Like 40 is the cutoff for all the programs, 40% in 40 marks. So 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 14 marks was there for all the general students, and it was a little less than other category students. So the only section, the general knowledge section will be the will have a cutoff in general. Otherwise, we will have an overall cutoff for getting shortlisted for the program. So, like I told you, this is a elimination round. Rest other two will be must. Everybody can appear for other two rounds once you will get selected through TISNET.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for just superficially telling us about the TISNET. Next up, we have a question from Sheikh, and he's asking, without TISNET exam, can he get into any MBA course, or can he take MBA admission?
Of course, not in TIS. There are number of other colleges, number of other programs, MBA programs where you can go by appearing for CAT, JAT, and other entrance examination. But TIS has this two program which is related to MBA, or which is very much like MBA. One is MA HR and LR program, and another one is Organization Development, Change, and Leadership. So so basically, these two programs, which we generally count as an MBA program at TIS, but there are one or two more programs which is very close to business education or entrepreneurial education, which is Master in Social Entrepreneurship and Master in Social and Innovation, Social Entrepreneurship and Innovation. So these two programs are also there, but in general, in the student community, they consider only HR, NLR, and second one ODCL. They consider these two programs close to MBA.
So I was having word with few of the TIS alumni who particularly pursued the MBA. So they were saying that the MA program in HRM or LR offered at TIS campuses is at the par with the management program offered by the top MBA colleges in India. How true is that?
See, ma'am, comparing the program which TIS has and other management school have will not be a very good idea, because TIS has its own value in its program, and there is a reason why they never called it an MBA program. So we always call it MA, HR, and LR. So although all the business aspects that we learn in other business schools, we do have in that syllabus of TIS, but the prime focus is to study and know and understand about the human resource, evolution of human resource. So even if you see the history, the earlier they used to have the same program with the name personal management and industrial research, PMIR. So now they call it human resource and industrial relations. So there is a big component of industrial relations is there with this program. So basically they don't just teach you like every other MBA, but they try to make you more uh, to understand the social issues, also to understand how corporate with its HR practices can intervene in general resolving the social issues of the nations also. So the program very much revolves around the manpower, the not only for organized sector but also for unorganized sectors, and how HR practices, how employee relations with the industry can actually impact the society as a whole. So rather than just finding good strategy, good business opportunity, good market, it focuses more on human resource as a whole. So rather than comparing it with other programs, we should studying or we should understanding it as a very independent program at all.
So, sir, questions have started flooded in. I hope even you can see it in the chat box. So even the Q&A box is full. But I have one question to ask. Why is this MA, particularly MA in HRM or ODCL? Why not MBA? Is there any particular reason for that?
Of course, there is a big story behind it. You can see that earlier we used to have a PGPM program. Even IIMs these days also, they were called their program as an MBA, all the IIMs. The new IIMs, of course, they are calling their program as an MBA. And since management is not just for business, management is a standalone discipline. It has decision-making sciences. It has all the theories and philosophy which make any operations good. So even actually the management started with the war management also. So management is not the thing only for which helps only in business. So when you study just management, it should be called postgraduate program in management. When you study it for business, and especially in India, where Indian businesses are quite bureaucratic in nature, so that's why we call it business administration. So our program always we always called it masters in business administration. But the TIS program is not focused for business administration part. It focused for one of the very crucial or critical element of business, which is human. That how machines are related to human, how customers are related to the human resource that organization have, and how actually it transforms into your profit and operations, if operational efficiency. So TIS focuses on that part. And why they call it MA? Because it's more of they don't just go for all the operational part only. Like it's not always HR operations. Of course, there are element of all the things that is there in other MBA program will also be there in his program. But the focus will always be thinking beyond what the practice is, or finding new solutions and relating the program with society also. So that's why they have always preferred to call it a MA program.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for explaining this. So, Adina, Omkar, Nandita, Harsh, I can see your questions. So, I will be taking your questions one by one. So, Adina has this question. Can you please just elaborate more on HR or MBA programs in this? So, let's focus on HRM.
Like I'll club one of the questions that I've also seen there, and when someone was asking what is ODCL also. So see, the thing is like when MNCs started flooding in India, and I'll be going little historical perspective also. So when MNCs started flooding in India after this LPG reform, so Indian organizations had a very tough time to deal with to cope up with that competition because the external businesses were very much backed by their business schools. So there is a reason why business schools are existing, because these business schools, by their research, by their training, actually they back the industry. And since India, we never had this habit of asking business school that what to do. So anybody who is a good businessman who will always be making their own decision, they will never go to the business schools. But when the competition came and people had to go to the solution provider, which are business schools, because if you're not managing your human resources in right way, if you're not managing your operations in right way, you will go obsolete one day, because everything is changing. So the business school that exists in India helps a lot. Now when we talk about the HR program, we always we have a habit of saying that HR people are rangoli makers, but it's not. When you see that when you have a set of employees, when you set up people who are working for your organization, so everybody has different capabilities. Some may be very good at putting the administration right, somebody may come with the creative solutions, and and even not like before, the businesses is like they run through process management, not the functional department. So earlier it was like you are from marketing, you are from finance, you are from R&D. Now there's a process which is important. So the cross functional skills, cross functional reliability has rise. So now the HR program is there who actually makes this possible. That how to keep people in sync with other department, how to keep all the human resource in sync with the external change. So human resource as a whole is very important to survive in competition, and also to get new things, to get new market, that bring new strategy in the organization. So there is a very important component of HR, which is strategic HR, is also there. And when you come to ODCL, and it's more of solving the bigger problem, like where our organization need to go after 10 years. So if you have that goal in your mind, and if you'll see that where are you right now, there is a big difference in people's learning, people's activities, people attitude toward the business. So now changing from this place to this place becomes a very like if you not plan it, if you not do it properly, it will never happen by itself. And I'll give you just one example. Like there were many mergers, big mergers, who got failed after being like too good, well doing, well well too too big organization. When they merged, they could not perform well because they could not plan their human resource merger. So they merge everything, like they merge financially, they merge with respect to operations, but they could not merge with respect to people. So there are multiple aspects that need to need to taken care of for the company's growth. So that's why HR program is not just like finding right person for your employee, or keeping them happy, or making their compensations good, or just um, balancing their work life. These are the keywords that we always listen, that these are the main goal of HR function. But no, when you go to the program, when you go to the PG program, you will be seeing that HR has got much bigger role also.
Right. So I hope Adhina and Omkar, your questions have been answered at length by the sir. Though Omkar has asked about the eligibility criteria, that we will discuss a bit later. Okay, so here I would like to take one more question. Harsh has this question: what kind of job they can get after completing ODCL, or I'll add HRM too?
Thing is, like when you from any MBA program, for any HR specialization, any MBA who has the HR specialization, they mainly get the job of HR job in HR functions only, but their role may be different. Somebody may join for recruitment process or selection or training and development and manpower building or manpower project planning. So these are the many different key roles and responsibility that you can get. But the title that you will be getting is always be HR manager or a strategic HR or maybe consult HR consultant in consulting companies. But when you talk about ODCL program, since this program is very new, and if you see from industry perspective, it is very important to have OD interventions in organizations. But since not all the company can have a separate OD division in their company because they even don't know the use of the OD, or even if they know, is not is at length. They don't have a complete requirement for that department of ODCL. So mostly you will be finding opportunity in consulting company who works for other companies to resolve their HR issues and bring big change in that domain. And of course, this ODCL has two more component. One is like change and one is leadership. Change is basically, it can be for other processes also, not just related to HR. So company may shift to non-technology to technology, or may shift to market. So these ODCL consultant also helps them, the company, to shift. And the leadership part, when we often get confused, like building leadership in the individual who is learning the ODCL course. No, this leadership component is basically for making you eligible to bring leaders in your organization or create leaders in your organization. So when you talk about leader, it's not just a person who can lead the people or who can make followers for them. It's basically, so wherever they are working in organization, they can bring the change. They can think according to the external situation at that point also. So you can have multiple uh, profiles and roles, but but the name should be the similar. But further, after 4 year 5 year down the line, you can make your own path that where you want to go.
Okay, so with this, I'll take up one more question. Ashish has asked this question. For MA in HRM and LR, do we need any work experience? And if yes, what type of work experience will be counted?
Actually, no. See, the business course education needs a certain level of maturity. It's a very generic need of that program. Like if you go to US and any other country, European country, their MBA program has a requirement of 2 year of to get into that program. But since in India the MBA program is of 2 years, and we have to value the freshers also, because we don't have job for fresh graduates. Every time, if you're engineering graduate, if you're any vocational course graduate, then you can still get a job. But not all the normal graduate or honors graduate may get job. So we India, we never had this requirement at all for our MBA program. So all the IIMs or even tests accept fresher students. But of course, if you have some good knowledge of industry and economy, it will help. So and even in marking or evaluating your candidature, WorkX never play any role in tests. So in IIMs, you get some marks for your WorkX, but in tests you never get any mark for your work. So only three component would be there to evaluate your candidature, which is testnet and the in between stage from testnet to interview. So this was extempore this year, and it may be something else next year. And the last is interview. So you have 3 stages you have to score there, and all these 3 stages will be get calculated with their values or weightage, and that merit list will be there.
Though, sir, even I want to ask you several questions, but it's my priority to get the answer of all the questions the students want to ask you. And with this, I'll take up one more question. Aditi has this question. She's a last year student and want to appear for the testnet, but she's confused because according to her, she'll not be getting a degree by then. So can she still apply?
He can apply, but there is a the rule that every year test says that you have to get your degree till this date. So with this COVID situation, every institution has like come up with some liberal rule for the students like who could not completed their graduation degree because of their uh, university processes were delayed. So you can, if you are expecting your degree to be completed in the month of August even next year, so they will not object your admission. So of course your studies should not be disrupted due to your graduation program. So you have some exam left or you have not received your degree yet, it is fine. But you cannot have full-time class here in TES and your graduation program also at the same time. So in that case, you will have to stay for a year. But again, you can appear for the TESNET exam.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for answering this question. Okay, though we are dealing with the MBA programs in HRM and ODCL, here's a question from Dr. Hemchandra, and he's saying that I'm 42 and opting for full-time course in MBA Healthcare. Is there any age limit for MBA Healthcare in TIS? Any guidance?
So again, they don't call their hospital administration program as an MBA healthcare. So TIS has this program masters in hospital administration, and even that is not healthcare; it's the hospital administration. So there are 4 courses from School of Health. One is hospital administration, other 3 belongs to public health, and a different specialization of public health. So there is no age limitation in any of the test program. You can go for the PG course at any age, but you have to qualify or you have to score in all the 3 stages in order to get into the program. So if someone is looking for a healthcare program or MBA healthcare, this is not the place. So public health there's a program for public health, like public health healthcare administration is there, but that is from public health. That's a government health infrastructure, and hospital administration is there. But MBA in healthcare administration, you can find this program in IIM Jammu or Goa Institute of Management or some other institution like this. You are not audible.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. And I hope Dr. Hemchandra has got the answer to his question. Okay, so just quickly tell us, like Apurva wants to ask you, where exactly TIS is located. So you can just tell us how many
I'll tell you.
centers TIS has.
I'll tell you the location as well as the confusion also. So TIS has its campus in TIS Mumbai, and other 3 campuses that TIS has, which is in Tuljapur, which is in Maharashtra only. Second one is Hyderabad. Third one is Guwahati. But they don't. We should not consider the other 3 campuses as a separate TIS campuses. These are the TIS Mumbai campus only. They call it off campus. So unlike IIT, like IIT Delhi and IIT Bombay is 2 different institutions, but TIS as a whole is same. And the second thing that you will find that very few courses are there which are at 2 places. Otherwise, they launch different courses at different places. So like there is one course, development studies, which is there in Mumbai and Hyderabad, and there is one course CODP, which is there in Mumbai and Guwahati, and 1 or 2 programs are like this are there, which are at 2 campuses. Like MA Education is in Hyderabad as well as in Mumbai also. But this has different courses at different places. So rather than seeing all the 4 campuses as a different college, we should consider all the 4 as the same college.
Okay, so I can see few more questions.
Last thing, the HR program only, HR and ODCL program, they conduct these 2 programs only in TIS Mumbai campus.
Okay, I hope our confusion is completely gone now. Thank you so much, sir. So the questions related to how to attempt a particular section, we shall have it, the discussion just after a while. Okay, sir. And with this, let's take up another question. Okay, so what's the mode of examination, sir? And what's the duration and the numbers and the format of the question and also the language, if you could just guide us.
See, if we'll talk about TISNET, it happens in English only, and you will have 100 minutes for 100 questions. And you were talking about what mode? There will be MCQ questions, and the clear division is not there. Like somebody asked me, uh, will there be more of current affair or static in GK, or will you get more point question than LR? No, you don't have a fixed structure. They can vary, and you can have questions from different topic, irrespective of what was happening before. So even the exams get evolved. So all the things that we say are based on the previous year papers, and but they can change also. The only thing that I'll be adding here to you for your help is, like, while you're studying GK, go for current affairs as well as static based on current affairs, like any static thing that is relevant for the current news or current situation, you should know about that. And also go for the policy related GK, like what government is doing to deal with different social issues. So these are the questions. The question on these basis, they will be asking it very frequently. And also art and culture plays a big role, like all the ancient arts, medieval arts, and modern arts, and books and movies. They'll be asking questions from that also. And if you're preparing for maths, there will be two questions from DI for sure, right? Because we are seeing it since last 3-4 years. So if you'll be learning good, we will be doing percentage, average, the other basic arithmetic topics, you'll be able to do the DI part also. And for English, I'll say just stick to the very basic English, which we do study in class 8th and class 9th, and keep your comprehension little good. Like just practice few of the diverse topic for the comprehension. You'll be able to qualify test net.
Okay. So, sir, I think the students are very much tensed about the general awareness, particularly.
I know, because I told you that there is a separate cutoff for general awareness. So elimination happens with two way. You should cross the general awareness cutoff also, and you should cross the overall cutoff also. So and generally with this generation has a very they have all the sources of information, but they lag in general awareness in a big way.
Okay, so this is the only question they have, sir. As you said, the general awareness, which holds the highest weightage in TISNET, and we all agree for that. So can you suggest any resources, like the Harshil and Shaheen, they both are asking, and even Aditi is asking, any books as per your suggestion, and they'll work on it?
There is no specific book which is there for testnet, and even that doesn't help a lot. Like even we what we do at our center, we have tried to curate a book which will have all the sections of the GK. But I'll suggest students to stick to the current affair part for every month, and especially checking all the social changes that is happening around you, and all the current events which are very much related to the society and economy, and the Indian socio-economic structure. And they should also read static part with respect to current affairs. So you don't have to follow a particular book or follow a particular resource. Whether you go for daily news, and one thing I can suggest you also, the Indian Express has its there is a page in almost every alternate day in Indian Express which is called Explained. So if you'll keep that section checked, probably you'll be getting many questions from that part also. So the thing is, like, you need to cover it by different sources, and you need to follow what is happening around you, and all the good books, all the movies, all the sports events that is going month by month. You should check that. You'll be able to prepare for general awareness.
Okay, so as you said previously that there will be 100 questions, and students will get 100 minutes.
Yes.
This is what you said?
Yes.
Okay, sir. So it seems like it will be a race against time.
No, not at all. See, the thing is, like, the GK questions, the verbal questions will not take that much of time, because either you know or either you don't know. So all the time that you'll be saving there in the section of GK and English or verbal, you will be having it for the quant part. So like you can solve all the question, you still have 10 minutes, 20 minutes time in your hand. So there is no, you should not worry about the time at all.
But sir, there is one section like mathematical skills and logical reasoning.
So that section will have 30 questions, and it will have very basic questions, but it will not be very regular one. Like that happen like the SSC exam or bank exam, the questions are very regular. So here they have scope to change their pattern every year, because they are asking just 10 to 12 questions in quant and just 2 questions from DI, but like 2 into 4, 2 sets of DI, and some 10 to 12 questions from LR. So you have 30 chapters, and you just have to select 10 questions. So they have a scope to change the exam very much. So you cannot have a pattern related preparation. You just need to cover all the basic chapters, and you'll be able to solve the questions. And even the questions will not be very time consuming, except the DI and few of the question of reason.
And here I would like to say to the students, if you still have any questions, please start pouring your questions either in the chat box or in the Q&A box. I will be taking it one by one. Okay, so the next up, we have a question, sir. Students are worried about how they can have the speed plus accuracy while attempting the exam.
I'll suggest, see, these are the very regular questions that everybody asks before they start preparing. Because if you are someone who have started preparation, you know that these concerns are not relevant. So the accuracy thing gets eliminated. The accuracy problems gets eliminated when we start preparing for the exam, when we start complete understanding the concepts, when you start knowing the questions time. So the more you study, the more accurate you will be. So you don't have to study and study for like, you don't have to study everything for that. You just need to get in the preparation part. You will start knowing that where was the problem, why I could not solve the problem. So these two aspects, that if anybody is asking, I'll suggest get in and start preparing. These two things will never come into your path.
So, sir, in a way that you want to say that practice makes a human perfect. Am I
Yes,
right?
not only practice, you should also understand why you are practicing. So you need to have that concept part at the background. So like if you are making, you are doing percentage questions and you do not know what percentage is, so that practice will not help, because ultimately what you will be doing, if you are not able to do the question, you will be checking the answer part, and you'll just remember what the process they have adopted to solve the problem. But you will start with concept. These things will not be in your of course, it will not be the problem or concern at all.
So, will there be any negative marking?
Not at all, actually. Maybe they might introduce negative marking this year. I have heard somewhere they might, because the cutoff for HR program is very high. So if they will introduce the negative mark, that will go little down. But till that, we have never seen any negative marking in this program. So you can attempt all the questions.
Okay, so Vivek Sahu, you just hold on your curiosity. We shall discuss about the cutoff soon because sir has just touched that part. Okay, so sir, next up we have a question here. The exam will be based on 10 plus 2 or will be based on graduation?
No, it will be based on 10th only. We will not have questions, we will not have any questions based on your 12th syllabus or graduation syllabus. But yes, the general knowledge part, we can expect that a graduate should know these things. Any graduate, either you are from psychology or maths or engineering or medical, there is some certain awareness you must have, and that will be checked. But the English and the maths, it will be below 10th one.
Okay, sir. I'll start taking up more questions. And before that, I'm sharing a link in the chat box and it has all the details related to TISNET exam. So you can have a look at it. Okay, so the next up, we have a question from Amrita, and she's asking, once the admit card is available for the download within the next week, So we have this pre-admission orientation program for SC, ST, OBC and minority, and also for PWD candidates. So can you guide us on how beneficial is it? Should students attend it?
See, it's just like what we are doing, they'll be doing at that stage. Because this doesn't want that anyone or any part of there will be candidates from every part of India, and due to their poor infrastructure of college and education at their state and their place, and even for the different segment of society, they don't get mentors very easily. So this doesn't want to lose those students also. So that's why they have kept this program to actually guide you what will happen in your entrance process. So of course they will not teach you anything, but they will make you very comfortable with the admission process. So that like see, when they introduce extempore, which is very simple word to explain, or everybody knows what extempore is. But as a coaching institute, as a mentor for test, there were like numerous call just to ask what will happen, what are the criteria to check in extempore, how will you check your statement, and anything that will be saying. So all these questions comes a lot. Even people from like Delhi, or somebody who is doing their graduation from a very premium college, but this, just consider the student who is coming from a very remote village, and they will have other problems, other confusion also. And that's why it is conducts these sessions, so that they can make people aware of what it is, what is the process of entrance, and they will not teach you in that actually.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Next up, we have question from Sheikh, and he's asking, after medical coding, I think he has done medical coding. So can he opt for MBA at this?
See, like anybody can opt for MBA and test. You just need to have a graduation degree enough for that. But if you also have a background of medicine or anything related to medicine or health, you can also apply for health-based program in test, because in test you can apply for 3 programs. So if you are applying for HR as in your first target or first choice, you can have 2 more subject choices there. So once you will score in exam, you will have different cutoff for all the 3 programs, and you will have to appear different interview for all those 3. So with you are eligible for HR, and you are also eligible for others program as well. The only ODCL program has a separate eligibility criteria, which is you need to have 2 years of work in order to apply ODCL program.
So Kanika Shaheen, yes, I can see your question, and we shall come back to those questions soon. And before that, sir, Harshil and Vivek has this question: based on your experience and the previous year cutoff, what could be the expected qualifying cutoff in TISNET for HRM? And if you could just also guide us like section wise.
So like I told you, there will be no sectional cutoff. There is just fixed cutoff for general awareness, which is fixed for all the programs, irrespective of the program. But overall cutoff changes for every program. Like some program may have 40 as cutoff, and some program for some program it may go till 75 also. So if we talk about HR, it has been changing. Like last year it was just 68, and last year it was 73, and last year before that it was 78 also in some year. So it depends upon the type of question they are asking. So if the question is easy, if see the English part will be easy only. If the GK and the quant part, and if the questions are easy, questions will be easy. The cutoff will be around 65, 66, and the cutoff for HR program doesn't drop too much with respect to other programs, because many UPSC aspirants also appear for this exam. So for UPSC, you also have to prepare for CSAT, and you do prepare for GS as well. So due to that, like lot of people, and due to that bunch of people, the cutoff for HR goes high, and like in no case it will be below 65, and it can go up to 82, 83 also, depends upon the quality of question they will.
Okay, so and next up we have a question from Kanika, and she's asking about the will solving PYQ help, and is there any repetition of questions?
No, I told you I just explained a few questions before. They have they have scope of changing a questions a lot, because you have to ask just 10 questions in maths and you have 30 chapters in you. So you can just repeat, even the repetition of chapter will not be there. So although like from average or percentage, they will ask one or two questions frequently, but they will not repeat the question, they will not repeat the question type, even they will not repeat the chapter also. So you may expect that what happened last year may not happen at all this year. And solving past year question will help you just in verbal and knowing what is the level of the question.
Manya, I have seen your question and we shall come back to you. And Kanika, you can also have in fact, you all can have a look at this, the link I have shared in the chat box. And this link consists several previous year question papers, so you can solve it. Okay, and with this, I'll take up one more question. Shaheen wants to ask you, what are the essential skills needed for an MBA aspirant before getting into TIS, and how they can work on business affairs?
Um, can you repeat the question? What are the which skills?
Yes, sir. I'll repeat that question again. So the question is like, what are the essential skills?
Okay, essential skills. See, the thing is, like, you don't have to have any essential skill at all. Like there are some essential skills to survive. You, for any management program, for any business school, you need to have comprehension, good comprehension, while you'll be reading book from diverse background. So you should have a very um, like spreaded, or I'll say, knowledge from everywhere. Like, you should know little about economy, you should know little about polity, you should also know about people and poverty and the issues that is around you. So all these things is important. Even space only in TIS, like unlike other MBA program, in TIS as an HR aspirant, you must know everything happening in society, like what are the social problem that exist in your society. So you may find the questions in interview or question in subjective written test that used to happen before, questions from entirely different field has been asked, like for questions from disaster, questions from government making, questions from policy making was there in the HR programs interview and subjective written test paper. So the thing is, like, you should be aware about the things that is happening or that is going around you. So unlike other program, you will just focus for testnet, you will just focus for the MBA entrance, you will just focus for the business knowledge, you will not be getting selected in test. You need to have a comprehensive understanding of your society and economy. And as far as I know, um, you should not bother about the skills part. Like some business equipment is there for everyone, but that's not mandatory.
Okay, sir. And with this, I'll take up another question. Maina Shah has this question. How should she prepare for the extemporary interview? Particularly though she's planning for the master's in applied psychology, but so overall, you can just guide us.
Okay, I'll tell you. Actually, the test courses has been designed very differently from other university. So even if we talk about psychology, the psychology program that we study in DU, the psychology program that we study in any other university other than TES is very different than TES. So the first thing, you can just break the questions to three, the answer into three parts. The first thing that you need to know is what is the difference that is there in TES. And after, you should not be talking that this is a great institute and this is this and this is that. You should be talking about what is the minute difference that is there in TES program. And second thing, that how actually you find that course and fit for your life or fit for your career aspirations. And it should be vice versa. How the program is fit for you, how you are fit for the program, right? And the third thing, like what you see as an postgraduate from TES, what will be, where do you see yourself after 5 year down or 10 year down, and not the roles that people usually think of. It's about what do you want to do with that course. So these three questions you need to actually prepare, and further we have categorized these three questions in 35 more questions. Like as an for to prepare interview, you should know about the social issues around your subject also, and anything that you can solve through the subject knowledge that will be having in your postgraduate program. So every postgraduate program that is has will have two outcomes, like one is learning outcome, one is capability outcome. So you should be knowing about these two also. So if you'll know more about your program, you will be able to score good in your interview. So that's the key here for interview preparation. And as far as extempore is concerned, you should not go by the rule always. So every time if they will ask you a question or a top, they will give you a topic, they will give you 1 minute to think. And that 1 minute is not to plan your, not just to plan your speech, just to find good thing that what is there to be told. So actually, when you have 10 minutes time to write an answer, you can actually well plan it. So planning is not the thing that you are being asked. It's like at random, if I'm asking anything to you, the literal meaning of extempore is not planned. So many of the time people get confused that we could not plan our statement, we could not plan our structure or talk, but these are the things which is irrelevant there. You just need to bring lots of points and lots of things there in that 2 minutes. So and sticking to the topic is very important. Like if I'm saying you, give me some policy alternative to elevate poverty. So if I'm asking this, you should not be defining poverty, because you just have 2 minutes. If you waste your time in defining poverty and other aspect of poverty, you will not be talking about the policies that you are suggesting. So sticking to the question is very important, and anything which is like in background of the question, you don't have to explain. So very like the frequent idea is there, like in UPSC exam, you need to define the subject. No, you don't have to define the subject in extempore. You just need to answer what is being asked.
Thank you, sir. And considering the time we are left with, I'm launching a poll here so that I can have views considering the webinar that we are conducting. So the first question says, was this session helpful? Answer it in a yes or no. And the second question is like, how likely you are going to recommend our webinar to others? We have options from 1 to 10, with 1 being the least likely and 10 being the highest. Meanwhile, sir, let's answer a few more questions students have asked. Okay, so the question is, how can a test taker mark the strong and weak areas while solving a mock test, and how to prepare the timetable accordingly?
I'll see. The thing is like, when you know that what the weak areas that you have, you should actually go to the books rather than going to the mock. Because book is the only thing that can actually help you in bringing the concept and the skills to know the things that you will be like using to solve the problems or whatever the thing that is. Because your weak area can be verbal, or your weak area can be quant, or weak area can be GK also. So you need to go to book, you need to go to resources which has that concept, which has that information in it. And as far as mock is concerned, you should just attend the mock in order to practice the keeping your concentration for that 1 hour, or sitting at one place for 1 hour, because these days this is attention span of everyone has decreased. So you have to make an habit to sit for 1 hour, not 1 hour, it's 1 hour 40 minutes, like 100 minutes are there. So you need to practice that, you need to solve the question, you need to change the sections also. So for that practice, you appear for the mock, and mock doesn't help in resolving your weak areas. To learn something, you have to go to book. Mocks give you a place to practice. Okay, how you will be sitting in that exam, I'll be attempting the question, which section will be doing first, and what is the advantage of adapting different strategy in exams? Are we able to get more marks if I'm going with other strategy. So these are the things that you can actually do in mocks. And to learn, you need to go to the books or the teacher.
Okay, sir, and with this, I'll take a few more questions. So the students have doubt related to how they can apply logic while solving question paper, because at some questions they are stuck and they don't know how to just attempt it.
So uh, to apply logic, you need to be in that environment for longer period of time. So it is same like you solve any other life problems. So if anything is like, if you are comfortable with any particular situation or any particular topic, you'll be able to find logic behind it also. So rather than knowing how to apply logic, you should be comfortable in and more to more comfortable with a number of more situations and the topic. Like if you are learning quants, learn more and more topic there, like some 25 to 30 topics which are important for quants. If you are preparing for GK, try to go through different sections in detailed way, not in MCQ ways while preparing. Like people have this habit of doing MCQs to prepare for the GK exam. No, you should first study, or you should first learn the subjective part. So even if you are trying to, let's say, I'll give you an example. So the August month is ending, and if you want to finish the August month's current affair, so generally what people do, they go to a website where the MCQs are there for the August month, and they will try to solve all the MCQs. No, you should study. You should go to the topics, like what happened in the August month, and go underneath, go in the stories behind that, and then go to the MCQ. So with that process, you will be able to apply logic anywhere.
Okay, so Trupti has this question, though we cannot answer this because the question is related to MHA. So Trupti, if you are seeking for the webinar on this, you can just send your email ID to me.
Of
In
course,
the
even
Q&A.
I'll suggest you, health program is very like famous, or that many people get confused about selecting their courses in health program, because this has this health school which offers 4 health programs, and there is a separate program in MA in public health in social work also. So that will require a very like detailed session to solve all the queries related to that.
This is what I was about to say, sir. Even the Kanika has the similar question. So what I would say that you can just send your email ID to me. So the next time what we shall do, we shall plan another session on MHA and the MPH, and we can target your questions there. We do understand your curiosity for sure. So sir, with this, let's take up another question. The next question is like the reading comprehension passages are mostly contextual. This means that deriving a direct answer might not be possible. So, sir, any guidance?
Yes. We do have this practice here. I'll tell you the good part here, that like when we do conduct the context classes, we don't go to the verbal teacher always. So if the context is for economy, even I can take the class. And if the context is from anthropology, other teacher will take the class who is not from verbal section. So what you have to do actually, since these days, like even YouTube will be very helpful in that. So if you want to learn about anthropology, you want to learn about philosophy, go to the very basic video. But identifying what video will help you is very important. Like these days, since uploading the video is free, and anything which is attractive may get view. So finding a good narrator, finding a good research in that video is very important, because all the good researcher are not very good editor or video maker. So try to find good videos related to all the subjects, like anthropology, philosophy, psychology, animal issues, environment issues, ecological issues, and try to go through those videos, and you will find like very significant improvement in your RC solving, and not only for test, for any other exam that will be.
Okay, so this question we are
And also last one thing, try to go through the bibliography of that subject also. Like that is also available in internet. Like if you want to go through all the terms of philosophy, just type on Google bibliography for philosophy. You will find good collection of words and go through that. It will help you a lot.
Okay, sir. So we have received a similar question from Shaheen and also from Anjali. So they are asking what should be, how they can prepare for the current affairs, as every day they get around 100 of news to read. And I'll add up and I'll add up one more thing to this. Shaheen has this question. Should the general knowledge preparation be started as soon as possible, like 2 to 3 months prior? Will that suffice?
But I'll say that matlab, it's not just matlab, preparing for the exam. It's like building an attitude for the general awareness. Like I told you that the general awareness thing is there not to check your memory, not to check your information keeping capability. The general awareness section is there to check that are you a right graduate in the nation also. Like if I'll say any graduate must know, and that thing is general awareness. So you should keep the habit of building your general awareness, habit of knowing things around you, habit of knowing things which is related to you or which may ultimately influence or may impact your life. You must know that. So like about the government, about the policies, about the things happening, not only in politics but also in media and also in sports and culture and what has happened before. So you should be well, like if you create that habit, if you create that attitude in you, and the preparation will be very easy. And then I'll go back to the first question when someone asked that how should I prepare for the current affair, monthly current affair. You should not go to the daily news part. You just try to find any compilation or any um, um, topic or any research or any what I'll say, the newspaper article, which has explained the certain event in detail. You just read that. You should not be picking information or facts from the news. You should be learning the events as it happened. So in that way, you'll be able to prepare in better way.
Okay. And here there's one question Apurva wants to ask. Please let me know where can I find brochure. Sir, I would like to answer this. So in the chat box, I am sharing a link, Apurva. You can have a look at it and you can fetch all the details related to TISNET 2023. And even this link consists the brochure. So I hope this will help. Okay, sir. So the next up, only last question I'll take up for this session. What kind of questions are asked in PI rounds? Any idea, sir?
Of course, we do have all the ideas. See, the thing is like the interview happens with two logic. One, what kind of panel will you find there, and what kind of attitude do you have? So there are no fixed set of questions that that will be there to ask. Like somebody thinks, many people think that there are 50 questions are there, and they just pick randomly 5 to 10 questions to ask from one student. No, actually the PI should go as a talk, like we have been doing here. Like everything, something pops up and people may bring that subject to the interview discussion. So if your personality is but you are a person who knows things around you and who knows the things around the subject for or any like for HR, and if you're a person who knows the things that is happening in HR and that is happening in industry, so they will be asking questions in that domain only, because they are not there to make you uncomfortable. So the first of all, they would like to know and they will try to understand that where you could be good at, and they'll be asking questions from that domain only. And the question will also have multiple objective to check. See, so how they will mark you in the interview, they will have 5 to 6 different criteria, and let's say there are 100 marks for that. So 20 marks will be given to all those criteria, and somehow you must have seen that all of a sudden interviewer asks, okay, one thing I would like to ask you in the last, because they could not judge you on one of the particular criteria, and they forgot that kind of judgment or that kind of marking. So they will ask one very different question in last. So those 5 criteria is like your current awareness, your communication skill, your future aspiration with the subject, and these five are very different in with respect to tests. Like if you are appearing in an interview of IIM, and if you are appearing in an interview of test, it will be very two different uh, event. So like to prepare it, I'll say just follow those three questions which I have talked before, and do not plan your interview from your side, because that interview is being commanded by the panelist. So they will be the one who will be actually drawing the path for you.
We can say that the knowledge gaining is a limitless process, and considering the time, we have to wrap up our session now, sir. Okay. So, sir, thank you so much. You have cleared a lot of doubts of ours and fetching time.
Although talking everything in 1 hour is very difficult, and since people comes from the different mindset, because some are very new to the preparation, some might have started their preparation, so everyone might have different kind of query. So they can just ask through the link that you have sent, and we can deal with those questions later also.
Thank you so much, sir. And thanks to all of you for joining the session. I hope your questions have been answered very well by the sir. And if still you have any questions, then feel free to post your questions here. I'm sharing a link in the chat box. You can share your questions here. Also, I'm sharing a link of our YouTube channel, and this session will be available there after the editing, and we shall upload it. So don't worry about it. Also, I'll email you the link personally. And with this, I am Shilpa signing off. Till then, take care and keep checking our Siksha portal for the upcoming webinar. Take care.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel.